Boy, these may be the cleanest oats. This is the cleanest oat field I think I've ever cut. Hey, welcome back to Rolling Hills Farm. Dave here. Well, you can see a nice field of oats, the first of 4, and the swather right there. We're getting ready to come out and cut these oats. It's a cool August day, late August, after the high humidity and 85-degree weather. We've got mid-60s today. I'm wearing a sweatshirt, but it'll be nice weather for working on the swather. This field was an old hay field, and the landowner here had been asking us for a couple years to hay it just because he didn't have the equipment. So we plowed it up and did soil tests, added lime and a lot of fertilizer, and then planted these oats this spring. It was kind of a wet spring, and so we had a little trouble getting into some of the low spots, but the oats have really grown nicely. This is a very clean field. Not a lot of not a lot of weeds in it at all. It's going to be very nice straw. So this is a 1970s swather, in keeping with a lot of our grain equipment, 1970s, 1980s stuff. It's a very simple and really in very good shape machine. These were really popular in the Dakotas and western Minnesota, and of course up in Canada, in the areas where they cut grain for a living. Long ago phased out but for bigger equipment, but for a little farm our size, it's really very practical. We did kind of a 20-year rebuild last year, rehabbed a lot of different parts, and it's working great. It operates just the way it should. So the way this swather works is you've got that big reel in front that tips the oats into a cutter bar. And then these 2 aprons right behind it bring the oats together into a nice windrow and lay them on the ground so they can dry. And boy, that's the entire assembly. I've got hydraulic controls for raising and lowering the reel. I can operate those controls. You'll see I'm using my hands on them some of the time, but I've also retrofitted them with little foot pedals so that if my hands are busy steering or adjusting the ground speed, I can use my feet to raise and lower either the reel or the platform. Off to the side is a speed control, just a big handle, hydrostatic. I can push it forward and go faster or pull back. I typically steer with the steering wheel, but I can override that with these 2 sticks on either side of the steering wheel that turn the hydraulic pumps on and off, and I can pivot on a dime. So we're out here in the second field now. I've opened it up. You can see this is kind of a big square field, a few more acres than the first section we did. Boy, these may be the cleanest oats. This is the cleanest oat field I think I've ever cut. You can look down through the oats and see hay down below, but there's no weeds at all. I don't know what the test weight's going to be. We'll have to wait till we get to the elevator, till we get this harvested. And I'm not sure how many bushels per acre, but at first glance, these are really nice oats. If you look down below the oats, you can see a nice layer of timothy, clover, and grass coming up. Won't be enough for a second crop this year, but it'll be very nice hay for next year. And this field will, you know, we'll consider this field seriously rehabbed. So it's a nicer day today, a little bit of sunshine, partly cloudy, and we're in our third field. And you can see we've got some weed issues in this field. These rows are pretty grassy. There's actual sections of weed here. These oats will be ground for feed, and the straw will be baled up as round bales just for bedding for the cows, the outside cows this winter. So we always have a use for everything. There, that's the last field down. You can see I've cut it pretty high because of the moisture and the weeds in here. So this is going to need to dry for an extra day or two before we can get the combine in here. Hopefully tomorrow or the next day we'll be combining on our first two fields, and then back here by the end of the week. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with that process, show you how our 1970s combine works soon. See you then.